I've just kind of a two-pronged question on quarterbacks, if you don't mind.
Yep.
You've got a pretty unique situation that you've got a guy who's been here for 2 years, and will be here maybe for, 2 more. And at that point, how much of Jarrett's, I don't know, progress is getting better at what he does? Because that seems like it'd be pretty easy. But also, since you have time and experience, adding or incorporating different things. I'm thinking like a mobility that you talked about before. And then second to that, you mentioned Garrett. Realistically, what can Garrett do in the spring?
Yeah. So let's talk about Garrett and then come back to Jarrett. So I think for Garrett, this is a huge spring. He graduated early to have the opportunity to go through spring ball last year and really only got 2 practices, and things were going so fast he didn't know which way was up, honestly. And during COVID, he had an opportunity to learn, but he really missed those live reps. And so, he got every Monday Night Football rep and grew. There were some up and downs in the fall, and I didn't think he was at a position where it was fair to him to put him out there. Because I think you got to be careful with quarterbacks playing them before they're ready. And I just think it's you can see some guys that have been thrown into the fray that didn't work out very well for them. And so I think that is one position where you don't play guys until they're ready. And so this spring is going to be big for him. He understands what our expectations are. He understands conceptually what we're doing in both the run and the pass game. He just needs live reps, and he's gonna get a ton of them. And so, and then with Jarrett, he's got some things he's got to work on for sure. I think that his mobility's got it. And listen, all right, I don't think anybody's going to mistake him for Lamar Jackson or anything, but what he's got to do is he's got to continue to improve his movement in the pocket. And so, Tom Brady, he's 43 years old, I believe now, and he's still at the top of his game as far as pocket movement. And it's movement that probably the common fan doesn't even notice, but he is elite at moving in the pocket. And I don't think anybody would say he's a great athlete. You know what I mean? And so, but his pocket movement and his efficiency with his movements is special. Maybe it's probably as good as anybody's ever done it at that position. And so Jarrett's got to improve on that. We've got to improve on our ability to hit the deep ball. I thought he did a great job of taking care of the football. He didn't play very well in the bowl game. I think that's been noted. But he didn't lose us any games. All right. And I think that's a step for a quarterback. Before you win, you need not lose them. And so this spring's going to be big for him because there's some certain things that he's got to do to be able to win against the teams we're going to have to beat to take the next step. The teams that finished ahead of us in the standings.